How we doing? It's Friday. It's Friday. Hello, everybody. We got Anomaly taking on Team Vision here today. Hey, and you know what? It should be a banger. I mean, it should be a damn good match. Let's take a look. Vision are coming in 12-0. They have been undefeated through the season so far. That's a little redundant, but I mean, have dropped maps here and there from what we've seen. Haven't been totally flawless, but I mean, really turn it up. We had Vision Arius match on, and then you have very close fights, or Arius with really good positioning and kind of getting the edge, and then Choicer one would just turn around and kill 3 or 4 like that. That happened a couple of team fights there in that Arius match, and that you really start to see the punching power of Violet and Choicer Watt. Violet will play. I mean, from what we've seen, will play the Ayari with a little bit of Kiriko thrown in. Why is this match trending? Best match of Season 5. Yeah, with good reason. As I was about to say, I mean, Slow Dive is nasty on the hit scan, and Tama, one of the upcoming tanks out of EMEA. There has been a handful of really notable tanks coming out of EMEA that are all kind of fighting for that spot of, well, I'm the next up. I'm the next big thing out of EMEA, and it's fun to see. And you got a little bit more experience. You got Crocs on the other side. And this is this tank matchup is just going to be a lot of fun. Crocs kind of goes against the grain a little bit. Not always, but definitely goes against the grain a little bit. All-star roster. Roster kind of, even there was exceptions made to get this roster into Master Division, and which caused a little bit of an uproar, understandably. What matters about is just how much has gone into getting this roster here and how much this roster's been through. And it really is just kind of a who's who from EMEA, with King plucked over from what was Rad Esports in OWCS Stage 1 of this year. Yes, King is playing on ping from what I understand. If Vision might have a chance to win, I think is a bold statement. I think that is a bold statement. Oh, sorry, I clicked on the match. It's like, even if Violet feeds and gets picked first, because we've seen Violet just get hyper aggressive. Tama has a knack of just staying alive forever, and Slow Dive can swing fights in their own right as well. So, and then you have the star power of Violet and Choice I1. So, I would honestly still give Vision the edge here. Anomaly also, Anomaly went 5 maps up against Little Ducks, dropped 2 maps to Little Ducks, yesterday? We've seen Vision drop maps, but, it feels like Anomaly's kind of been through the ringer recently. And so, is everybody focused? Is everybody in the right, in the right headspace? Have they been able to get scrims and practice in together? So, despite a who's who all-star of T2 and even OWCS talent on this roster, I still think Vision probably have the edge here, or at least it'd be really, really, really close. Oh, we're gonna get a side swap. Ilios picked here. Looked like it was a Vision map pick. At least they're getting first hero ban. Kiriko ban coming in from Vision. Anomaly coming in 9-2. I already talked about how Vision's coming in undefeated, but Anomaly coming in 9-2. Their losses are to Arius, and then 0907. Okay, it was Tuesday where they went map 5 against Little Ducks, and then just yesterday was the loss to 0907, which is. Oh, that was right. That's because they couldn't make it. I was about to say it was a forfeit, and I wasn't sure when we got in there. Yeah. Only reason I even bring up question of Anomaly, how they're feeling, are we getting them at full strength here today? Because it looks like it's been a little bit of a weird week for them. But that was the only, it wasn't just out of nowhere. I'm not trying to just throw random shit about their mental. But it looked like they had a little bit of an odd week, We're ready. I'm ready. Are y'all ready? I'm ready. I'm ready to get into this. I'm excited to get this one on. Crocs versus Tama. Zoro versus Slow Dive. King versus Choice A1. And then that backline. Jonowich and EGS with Violet. And it's looking like Alba in right now. Starting on Ilios. Arisa Curie banned out is kind of an interesting look. Let's get into it. It's time for map 1. Anomaly taking on Vision. We are being shown the hazards. I kind of as alluded to. Brig Anna, actually. Okay. Brig Anna being shown from Anomaly. I was expecting us to go more Brig Juno. That's a little bit more what I'm expecting. And then King will most likely go Tracer here. You could go Genji because, you know, play around the high ground of the lighthouse or, you know, the two opposing balconies. We are being shown, of course, the double flex support look out of Vision Esports. As they will stick with the Bappa Yard that we have seen from them for the most part, almost exclusively. Slot I put on a cast, which I can understand. There's a bit shorter to mid-range sight lines on Lighthouse. But you know what? Nobody told Zoro. Well, I mean, also Freya just happens to be good up close and personal. As well as from far away. Maybe not as consistent and robust as the Cassidy. Ooh, speaking of, there's Slowdive trying to take that duel. But Crocs and Zoro managed to maintain this aggressive position. Zoro with 3 in that fight after that kill on to Violet, and a great start here from Anomaly. They're gonna grab first cap. I wanted them to come out swinging, and they absolutely delivered. Crocs is still picking up exit picks. Tama tried to isolate there with a jagged wall, but it had less than 50 health. Quickly turned to 0. And a wicked good start. So far, 0 kills. And a full cleanup. Oh, Violet quickly turned that around. Finds revenge on Zoro immediately. And that huge threat as well as the bolo shot. Both out of there. Violet with a very early Captive Sun. Oh, Machu, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. I hope you had a great stream. Thank you, thank you. Ooh, I like the new drives. I hadn't seen that yet. I need to go play. I gotta admit, I'm a sucker for. I just want my ARE Galactic weapon. That's really all I want. That's why I want to play trash. Looking at both DPS ults available for Anomalies. They're trying to push back in. Oop. King opened up at the first one. One position behind this Ant Matrix alongside, well, the entire rest of the team. It is just force Anomaly to get out for a moment. They're going to slingshot back in with a orbital ray. Angled from inside of Lighthouse. King hit by the Captive Sun will get melted down. Violet fights 3 in that fight, and there's that all-star power that I was telling you about. Woo. Just won your match, Kerfley? Awesome. Congrats. I think, what was it? Actually, it was, didn't have, like, just moved and didn't have internet until recently. Like, didn't even have Wi-Fi until very recently. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think that's exactly what it was. So I may not have good, consistent enough internet to compete, or may just hasn't gotten settled in enough and, reacclimated with the team, been able to scrim or something of that nature. But it was something about Alba just recently moving was one of the cause. Anomaly trying to drop down, find an entrance from this lighthouse side. Zoro has managed to push into the opposing balcony, trying to create a bit of a horseshoe here, but all of Vision able to focus down Crocs and EGS. Just not going to have any more staying power into this 99 fight. That yellow bar quickly threatening, constantly threatening Anomaly. Eventually, it and they will disappear. We head into round 2. Team Vision grab the first one. Okay, we are seeing EGS match a bit of the poke and pull out the BAP here. The Juno has a lot of value and an absolute truckload of healing, but one area the Juno is not particularly good is poke damage. Woo! Violet's gonna get jumped on. Flew too close to the Crocs. Got within, you know, get within distance of that violent leap. Crocs will punish you for it. You see Crocs fighting Choice at 1 inside that small hallway. After a pretty extended first fight, we do get first cap going over to Anomaly once again. They had first cap back on Lighthouse. And even when second fight, yeah, we're getting some great cleanup from Crocs here. This is feeling very similar. Keep an eye on how this BAP is affecting this versus the Juno. Oh, we'll say, I mean, it's enabling everybody to go in deep. Crocs already picks up one way to bullet shot invested in, and the spike guard claims two. We do get a flip. I imagine Choice A1. Yeah, Choice A1 made it over to the point and actually snuck it out from underneath Anomaly here. Tama making a Ramatra swamp or swap. Kills King with some Doritos. Oh, Croc said nope. Was already low. That window could have been vicious. Speaking of, let's check out this Captive Sun. 2 hit by it. Oh, it's a headshot. They're done. Yeah, Violet's gonna claim both supports with that. And, I mean, the backline comes up with 4 kills. After King decided to go face first into Tama's Ramatra. I'll try to, that was my, my mouse cord shorts out. I'll make sure and go wireless here after this map, so it won't beep at us. We're looking at a rally, kind of fight this way back in. One thing is, Vision don't have a whole lot of ultimates. Getting currently in a duel on Statue side. Oh, but Violet finding EGS. That is no good. Crocs not disengaging, still fighting along Ko's side. Escaped away to the Mega, but King already had to use it. So they're going to continue to disengage. Time Blake's in for the execution onto Zoro. Bolo shot over the top from slow dive. And then here comes the follow-up. EGS in trouble. Crocs have his in. See if they can punish. Crocs themselves very low. So 83%. Much like we saw on Lighthouse. Anomaly able to get early control, but once Vision are control of the point, they struggle to get it back. They got one last shot here on Ilios. Zoro being locked in place. Excuse me. That was EGS being locked in place there by a good vortex. Zoro's gonna try to just seal off an exit. Was trying to guess. Actually gets the follow-up hit shot kill onto Violet. But there's a 3 kill in return. Slowdive finds EGS up top, and Deep Vision claim map 1. Violet not clipping the edge of anything on Lighthouse this time. A clean Captive Sun to pick up that 3-piece. And it wasn't the only one they had there in that map. Oh, a little slow on this transition, sorry. Not the only multi-kill they got there on Ilios. But it was Vision's map pick. And, you know, I wanted Anomaly to come out swinging, come out looking coordinated, and they did. They absolutely did. Very swift, very strong first fights, very strong neutral fights in general out of Anomaly. Really good cleanup as well, you know, perfect limit testing as far as knowing where they could find those exit picks, finding all the kills on the back of the fights. You know, once again, it was early. They'd grab first cap, they'd have some wonderful cleanup, extend, you know, maximize the amount of percentage they could get off of that first cap. Those retakes were proving problematic, though. Let's say where Anomaly wants to go. It's Suravasa with a Baptiste ban. We are going to keep Anomaly in the red outlines, much to my chagrin. You know, I like having the red logo team in the red outlines and the blue logo team in the blue outlines, but that's just me. All right, since we got an inkling of our ban, let's go take a look at our stats. Troy goes 16-2. King 6-6 on the other side. I mean, Zoro out-damaged Slow Dive and had the same amount of deaths. I think that's a real, I mean, it's what we expect from Zoro. It's what we've come to expect from Zoro. And I know Zoro, I know the stonks probably went down a little bit after Sakura in OWCS, but Zoro is still one of, if not, like, the next up as far as I'm concerned, as far as hit scans out of the region. And can absolutely hang with the squad, is absolutely one of the shining lights. I mean, there's a lot of shining lights. Like, I hesitate to say it because I feel like everybody on Anomaly is a shining light in their own right. All have their own brightness, their own illuminating qualities. All right, as you can hear, we're getting loaded in. It's Orisa bait on the other side. Nobody wants to play Orisa today, apparently. It's time for map 2. Let's get into it. Lucio Carey, out from Anomaly. One actually pulling out a Juno. So, I mean, still double flex. Just kind of an interesting look on double flex. I mean, is it really double flex support comp, or is it a triple DPS comp? I pose that question to you, friends. I don't have the answer. Anomaly does grab stairwell control. Stair side control. Croc's playing very far forward, though. Lucio Curie, yeah, you don't have near the support that you did in the Bat Brig. There's a lot of low health bars, and everybody from Anomaly kind of just positioned right out in the open. Easy pickings there for the rest of Team Vision. Oh, well, a little dance from Tama. A little keyboard breakage. You might want to get that checked. You might want to clean your keycaps, bud. Ooh, Tama eating a volley of headshots. They're going to forgo that. They get Tama low, and then Tama pops Nemesis, and Crocs immediately goes to try to find Violet. Choi steals the Mega, recalls back. Does have a pulse, but is taking fire from both directions. Zoro and EGS have both managed to build up ultimates throughout this exchange. And a nice little horseshoe setup here, but EGS has to stay alive. Okay, Choi recalls back out of that. EGS survives. Captive Sun in over the top. Crocs is able to find one. EGS ducks in underneath to avoid this Captive Sun. Everybody from Anomaly trying to hide. Violet has the high ground, Anakin. 95% on the board. There's still several players from Anomaly here. We will get a touch out of Jonowich, but EGS dies without getting that Kitsune rush into this fight. And that might just be the beginning of the end for Market, at least. There's the cleanup. Ooh, King opted towards Palace side. It's actually a temple spawn. Good spawn there for Vision. They're going to get backs up against the wall here. High ground picked up, which is going to run Choice off early run Choice A1 off of the front line early in this engagement. Orbital tossed out towards the little house out front. We did get both a Katsuna Rush as well as an overclock thrown in. Now Downpour invested as well. Sound Barrier, there's the final and 5th ult from King. No kills on the board. In fact, it's all coming up Team Vision here. Going to slow dives OC, as a matter of fact. Annihilation, not near as flashy and fun to watch, although we didn't really catch much of the OC. To be fair, it was 4 ults invested from Vision in that 9 ult fight. Go on the way of Team Vision. Good shot. I will say Violet's been playing a lot more conservative today as well than we saw last time we had them on stream. But Zoro catches an aggressive position on that one. And EGS is going to follow up. Get some EGS power. We're playing from out front. Choice and Alba are still on this point. Ooh, slow dive. Comes up with a kill. It's the second of this exchange. Only 3 players from Anomaly left. Violet takes to the sky with 36 health to drop the Captive Sun in on Crocs. Crocs trying to shield up, but cannot get out of there. Leaps right into a headshot. Violet fails to get over the top, which does give an opportunity for Jonowitch to escape, but EGS won't. Jonowitch goes back to her safety. %72% on the board, and counting there for Team Vision. Crocs low on the point. Their healer's getting chased back way off of the objective. King did get a touch, but ends up going down. Crocs is able to survive, but won't make it back on the point. Has to basically run into the spawn. Fortune spawn. That's a much needed spawn there for Anomaly. Obviously the Maga swap. Kitsune Rush thrown in. Typically a pretty good combo, but Team Vision doing a good job just kind of ducking in, grabbing this Mega at the bottom hand side of your screen. Able to avoid the majority of the threat out of that Kitsune Rush. 2v1 versus Choice of 1. King and Jonowitch able to win that out. But back on the point, Crocs is looking a little worse for wear. Zoro does punish the kill. The kill comes through nevertheless. 1 and Violet both finding picks. I think it's a 3v2 on the point. Oh, Slaughter picks up King and Zoro at the very end. Oh, what a vicious overclock. Slow dive proven from what I was making earlier about, you know, Violet and Trice aren't the only one on this team with some impressive skills. SPCA, thank you for the follow. Alright, 2-0 at Suravasa. Captive Sun, Annihilation, as well as a Pulse Bomb to work with. You're looking at just the sound barrier here from Jonowitch. Needs to be very well timed. Crocs is already low. Their hand might be forced. Jonowitch is not able to get the sound barrier. Are they going to try to reset? They are trying to reset. Roughly 15 seconds. Get back on to this point. King playing front line. Crocs just runs right on the objective. No tippy-toeing around here. Sound barrier thrown in. Hits all 5. Violet's going to respond. Captive Sun looked fairly enormous. I think a cleanse came through on Psalm, but not able to get Zoro. Zoro's going to end up destroyed. Caught by the Supernova. But now in a 1v2, Violet will fall. Is there any point presence left? There was a flip amidst all of that. There for Anomaly. They're able to come in and try to keep it going. Tama has popped the Annihilation, but it has come and gone. Nemesis popped again for some more armor. Flip in favor of Team Vision. Overtime has been initiated. EGS with the continuing rush thrown on the objective. Crocs is back into the mix. This is just going to prompt a flip the other way with 0 contest. Anomaly have a moment to breathe. And they've got a cage fight going into this next engagement. And this is a beautiful, beautiful point of a cage fight. You can drop it corner or do a hallway approach. It looks like we're going for the latter. Slow dive. Throws in the OC. It's a touch after the cage fight falls, but look at all the low health bars on the other side. Choice was able to clean up one. And it's going to be a 99-99 fight going to Team Vision to claim Suravasa in the 2-0 lead. All right, so what's the pick? Where do we go? It is going to be Circuit. This was one of the maps that came to mind, and they're going to ban out the Ayari. Wow. That's the threat that's being posed. You can't say I blame them. Can't say I blame them. Let's go look at exactly the numbers on that. I mean, 18-4. Violet ends up with more damage output than Choice A1 or King. King hell... Oh, that's round 1. Hey, it's still true on round 1. Violet 22-3 in round 2. Leading the server tied with Choice A1 in damage, in Elims. Once again, does have more damage than Choice A1 and either of the DPS from Anomaly. Has more damage than anybody on Anomaly, for that matter. Leading your server. Nope. Slow Die's leaving the server. Second silver medal in the server in damage. Incredible damage output. God, so fun to watch. And you can see why it's the Ayaris get banned out. This will end up just forcing... we'll most likely see Lucio Curie. Now, I don't know that we've seen the Ayari ban on Circuit Royale. So, previously when we saw the Ayari banned out, it was Violet going over to a Kiriko. Do they want to go with the Curie on Circuit, though? We'll see. It's a throwaway ban from Vision. All right, let's get into map 3. Hey, how did it... Update. Somehow my scoreboard didn't get updated, sorry. I've not had outlines on this entire time. Shame on me. I gotta admit, it looks good without outlines. Like, it's from an aesthetic point of view, right? Like, just seeing the characters fly by and see them walk through the window. It looks really good. But then I was like, wait a minute, we're not getting outlines. We are getting the Violet Ana. So we are sticking with the double flex DPS as far as a BAP Ana look. Crocs and Anomaly running into a BAP Juno Orisa. Looks like King thought about with a Mei there, and then ends up going back into that Genji. So this is, I think, traditionally a stronger pick for King over the Tracer. As they do a little roof slide to kind of get in behind Tama. Tama, who is very low, by the way. Does get a bio nade and pops the Nemesis form. Backed up to the corner without much concern. But Zoro's able to find choice they want. There's an enormous push. Not very often you get an enormous jab spam. It just muscles 3 players from Vision back to the second quarter. One under some duress. He got hit by 1 take aim. But the rest of the ADS shots kind of falling at the fate, making one dance, but so far they're able to avoid death. Oh, that's a beautiful shot. Almost got the 3-player bola. It's got to connect to get the gravitational effect, to get the pull. And it just barely misses. Hitting, I believe that was Violet, actually, that it almost caught. Not that it matters. What matters is the Ant Matrix is about to come online. One's going to go ahead and invest theirs first. Choice A1's down, but Violet finds King through that Ant Matrix. On behind an Ant Matrix is just nasty. Orbital Ray up front. EGS is going to pick up a kill on a slow dive. With that, check back in here with Zoros. There's Annihilation in play. Can they whittle down the Annihilation? They can. Croc's chasing some picks. Will find their second support. Wait out the deflect. Finish with a 3-piece in the fight. Point on the board there for Anomaly. An Ant Matrix can be very powerful right in front of the spawn window. You have such a large room to cross before you can get cover. So we'll see how early EGS chooses to invest this. I can understand a super early Ant Matrix, but holding on to it long enough to where Vision are able to get out and against this right-hand wall. Violet lands a huge nade. That hit John Rich and EGS. Forces out the Immortality. Here comes that Ant Matrix, but Choice A1 goes diving in with the nano boost. Not able to build up to the rest of the plate. King is going to threaten. Sends Choice A1 up into the air as they unsheathe the katana. Has to settle for a couple of swings onto the Orisa at the end of the fight. Vision able to hold on through the trades. Oh, that's gonna suck. Nice shooting from slow dive. Ow. If the bolo shot hadn't, excuse me, Choice A1 hadn't killed EGS, the bolo shot would have. Oh, that's just dirty. That's just dirty. All right, 2.5. Still, it was a wicked fast point A here from Anomaly. So they got plenty of time to work with. They still have 2:30 in the time bank. Figure out a solution here for point B. Obviously, with what has been a very heavy, a lot of poke pressure. Could be difficult. Terra Surge will get you up the hill. Both Immortality and Bionade used to try to keep one alive, all in vain. Tama's going to run back down towards the point, unleash one of their own. Here comes... Ooh! The blade! The nano! And the massive slam down from Tama. That is a team wipe. The gong of death rings out from Circuit Royale. God, that was hive mind. There's decisive, and then there's Team Vision decisive. Bolo shot lands on the Crocs. They're able to pop fortify, but still will not survive that. Got stuck on the stairs. Cooldown's not able to get him out. Do you have a slightly extended Tama here? Oh, an EGS finding Choice A1. Good shots out of Zoro. Continue to put pressure down. Oh, is this... Massive Vice down onto Anomaly, compressing him into a diamond. We're getting an Ant Matrix up. Violet's already down. EGS fights their second of the fight. Will eventually get overrun by Slow Dive, but job's done. Card has made it around this precious corner. The U-turn has been completed. We're going to get up the chicane. Whoops. That's a double dink into EGS. Slow Dive finds their third kill of the fight. Ooh, Zoro! Zoro! Oh, that was a slick move. I'll give you credit. Awesome, thank you for the follow. Slow Dive taunting in chat. Throwing out some psychic damage in the waning seconds of Anomaly's attack. King is able to dash up, get the touch, deflect out. Is there anybody else to follow up? Would love to get this blade in. King will die to the Terra Surge. We have a Nano Choice A1 on the point to clean up any who remains. And it's just Vision left at the end of time. That was a little Marvel double entendre there. Sorry. I just finished watching Loki Season 2. I know. Like, Slow Dive is very excited. Slow Dive is very excited. Even Tom was like, yo, dude, chill. Slow Dive's still doubling down. Like, I don't care. You're losing. Oh, my goodness. If I play. Ooh. There's an interesting. Crocs, not allowing that to go unanswered. All right. After a volley of psychic knives thrown at each other, we get into Vision's attack here. Crocs. I like how Joyce one backed off. Joyce one legit saw Crocs was typing and backed off. Don't let him get in your head, buddy. Bowday lands from Violet. Zoro clips the tree up there in a bit of a duel with Slow Dive. Slow Dive was putting out the majority of the psychic knives between rounds. Hey, why is Troy say one catching strays? Leave Troy say one out of this. Oh, that's gonna prompt. Yep, that's gonna prompt a response. Okay, Crocs. Okay, Crocs. Wow. Oh, why so cringe? Me? Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just gonna happen. It's just gonna happen around here. Hey, if I can't make nerd references on my own casts, then, you know, where can I make nerd references? What's funny is if you think the Loki, like, you haven't heard the dad jokes. If you think the Loki references are cringe. All right, 2 minutes in, starting to get some ult online, and this is where Vision tends to get real nasty. I feel like they have won the majority of the ult exchanges throughout this series. Crocs is going to push out. We're going to get that Terra Surge, you bet. Not able to get a whole lot with it. Nanoblade thrown onto Choice One, but oh, Choice One steps into the AoE on the slam of the Terra Surge. And Crocs drops the client in chat. Oh. Swap now. Uh-oh. Whoa-whoa. Slowdown's gonna find that kill on a King, taking the blade out of this fight. Choice One just hiding under the hit matrix. They did not track this. The blade is out. Immortality field is in. Good position to force the turnaround, but EGS will still get cut in two. Crocs trying to find revenge, but now short sustain on this attack. I suppose on the defense from Crocs' Pav. Still gonna come and stall for as long as they can. Eventually that point will get picked up. Crocs is the mage of the chat. Oh! Oh! Violent getting in the shit talk now. Oh! Oops! Oh, blade from King. I love how King dropped the LOL on that one too. Or the Haas. We're gonna get a hold. 220 remain. Crocs continues with the psychic knives, trying to get in the heads of Team Vision, using their own strategy against them. Needs a huge energy javelin to the heart though. That one could be trouble. Let's slow dive with the bullet shot in over the top. Not able to connect. Zoro finds a huge connection amidst the Terror Surge. Great combo there from Anomaly. We do have an Matrix up in the back line. One's immortality already spent, and Zoro found a beautiful angle onto the dome of one. Now slow dive still alive and kick him. That's a nice double dink. Comboed with some torpedoes. It's gonna equal a kill and a hold here from the Anomaly defense. Choice One is gonna go in and trade out. Oh, that was nasty. Oh no. Oh no! And Zoro ends up dead to their own shots. Ant Matrix available here for EGS. Crocs is already low. The BAP just getting into the fight, and the Orbital comes out to save the Immortality, keeping them alive as the Orbital comes in. But the beam from the other side is here, and now a blade as well. Choice One's able to chop through Zoro. Jonowich takes them down, but Crocs has fallen. The mouth is no longer here, and the heart has been cut away. Team Vision will win the war. And the match chat fills up. GG's, GG's. I mean, 3-0 cinema. 3-0 cinema. How often are you gonna get Crocs rocking in and dropping the thank yous after every kill on a 5-piece ace? Team fights in the chat for real. Comment is for real. That is team fights in the chat. That is very well put, my friend. Very well put. Let's get that point on the board there for Vision. We'll go check out some stats. Hey, Anomaly kept it interesting. And, you know, Violet not allowed to out-damage the entirety of the opposition there in map 3. Kept to a far more reasonable damage output. Still, Tama able to pick up the slack there. Slow dive with 13.5k and Zoro at 13.7. But once again, same deaths. Once again, same deaths. I can't wait to see these two in playoffs. I mean, I hope we get this matchup in playoffs. Zoro versus Slow Dive, I think, was just as entertaining as anything else. But that Violet map too. That Violet map too was something else. That 22-3 map. Unreal. With all that said, I think Choi Se-won might be my player of the match. An uncharacteristic 8 tested at the end, though. I don't know. Everybody did so good. Choi Se-won only died 3 times in the first 2 maps. Between both Ilios and Suravasa had a total of 3 deaths. I don't know, maybe I give it to Slow Dive just for instigating that cinema we got in map 3. Maybe that would be my player of the match for the taking it that extra level and finding the mental weapons to throw in against Anomaly there at the end. And if anything, made for a super entertaining map 3. Made for a super entertaining map 3. Oh.